main thing is that we want to be a CAF expert, and this is not a very simple role. When you want to work with this role, definitely you should have some confidence yourself that you understand this issue very clearly. Se non capiamo bene, è difficile gestire il cliente, no? Non è possibile, perché c'è il cliente, ci dicono una domanda, noi devo rispondere. Come dico io, so somebody comes to your office and asks you some question, definitely you have to speak, you have to provide information correctly. So to get this confidence, we can do several things. We can learn online, we can read books, we can watch YouTube, but problem is that whatever CAF course we have online or in the market, they're not for our focused. What does it mean, our focused? That means that technically we are immigrant and we need some specific support from the social support, and some other cases we have very small business, and everywhere our focus is different. We have family in Carico, but other staff who is Italian or someone who is long time, they speak very well in Italian and they're living here, they don't have that the same rules or same needs. For example, for immigrant, we don't have our house ourselves. Only maybe 5% to 10% who is living in Italy, we have our own house as a owner. So noi non siamo proprietario di casa, maggior parte, no? Maggior parte siamo locatore, come si dice, we are renting only house. So we are not the owner. So basically what's happened there, when we are going to do any type of application, if we go to the Italian CAF or somewhere else, they're always very much restricted to their own style. Come si dice, they don't need to add any family member as a Carico. Better time because they have always earning more. Do you know that major part of stranieri, I mean we, who is living in Italy, we have very, very low income. And that's why our need is very different from the Italian people. So let's see what we will learn from this course. That's very important, no? That what will be learned, what will our achievement from this course. Okay. So as I told you that we are trying our first CAF course in English and Italian. Definitely we will speak both languages, and no doubt we'll help each other to understand. And we try to also at the same time who speak always Bangla. I see that lots of people from my country and my nationality, so we can learn also Italian and English together. So it will be good things to learn a new language and understand the things in a different language. As I told you first, that this course will be English and Italian. It means that we will try something in English, something in Italian. Perché se solo dico inglesi è difficile, perché tanti parole noi non siamo abituati per dire in altro modo di inglese. For example, if I told you Thana, non sono abituato, allora meglio dico costura. If I told you residence permit, no, un po' difficile, meglio dico permesso di soggiorno. Questa differenza, noi dobbiamo parlare inglese e italiano mischiato. Così andiamo avanti tutto il corso e vedo come funziona. Sta arrivando chiamata, ti richiamo, ok. So, what does it mean by CAF?
Posso fare una domanda?
Subito vuoi fare domanda? Bene, sì, come no?
No, volevo dire, ma perché quando ho creato questo gruppo non sapevo, nel senso, questo corso facciamo da inizio a fine oppure qualcosa veloce?
No.
Nel senso, perché io sono ex gruppo che avevo fatto 02 o 03, non mi ricordo, avevo vostri studenti io. Ho già finito.
Ok.
Ma sarà uguale anche questo? Facciamo da inizio a fine un CAF?
Un corso proprio stesso, ma solamente differenza c'è forse impariamo tutta la novità di questo tempo, che cosa ha aggiornato, ma comunque se già finito per te non è importante. Per te già è finito, perché non è un altro corso. Qui anche impariamo la stessa cosa che abbiamo imparato altri corsi di 730 ISE, di consumo familiare, domanda cittadinanza, tutto cosa da inizio. Comunque spieghiamo uno per uno, cioè lei dice cioè, ok, tu vedi, if you feel that okay, I know this very well, I don't need, so there is no need to continue, because also you can attend later or you can watch later, that's up to you. But today class
No, per me è perfetto se seguo un'altra volta, per me è il perfetto.
Ok,
Anche
va
voglio,
bene, va bene.
se posso.
Sì, va bene.
Quello che volevo capire se noi ce l'abbiamo il sabato che lei aggiorna un po' le cose, no? Non
Sì.
sarà così, sarà proprio un corso che avevo
No, questo è
seguito.
proprio corso, non è come Saturday with Zaman, no. Ok, è un corso da zero. Ok?
Ok. Grazie.
Niente. Allora, iniziamo. Che significa CAF? CAF significa Centro Assistenza Fiscale. Noi dobbiamo ricordare questa parola esattamente, ma dico in inglese Fiscal Assistance Center. Allora, questo è importante per capire che significa CAF, perché noi tutti siamo interessati per fare CAF in qualche modo. Così qualche parola, forse qualcuno già ha fatto corso, lo sanno bene, ISE. ISE è una parola molto, molto comune. Quando dico qualsiasi bonus in Italia, noi serve ISE, praticamente attestazione ISE. Che cosa significa? Indicatore della situazione economia equivalente. This means that ISE will certify ourselves that what is our actual income equivalent to the basic needs for a person, for a citizen, for immigrant. Because if you see any ISE, you can understand his capacity of earning, capacity of his life, and you can also know a little information. For example, his family members and his total income last year's, and he is owner of any house or something else. So very basic information we can get from this certificate, and this is very common to everybody, and we know this is called ISE. So ISE is a very important part, so we have to learn how to produce this certificate, and there is a lots of way we can do this for our client, also for ourselves, to do ISE. And every year is very important that every year ISE valid up to 31 December. This means any time, I mean, for example, if I make this certificate today is 15 November, no? So if I make this attestazione ISE, that is valid up to 31 December. So what does it mean? That 2020, any date will be invalid after 31st December. So for 2023, we have to produce new one. Every year it's renewable. So it's good to learn ISE, because most of the client will ask you, please make my ISE as soon as possible, because without ISE, they cannot access any bonus facility of Italian government. So how we do this ISE? To make the ISE professionally, you have to take any software that is certified from Italian government. That means, se noi dobbiamo fare ISE ufficialmente, noi dobbiamo prendere un software ufficiale dal Ministro dell'Economia, and that is only maybe 60 or 70 CAF is officially listed, and they are licensed from the government. And from this kind of service, we choose only two. One brand is named CAF CZN, and another brand name is CAF IKE. So it depends on the situation, and depends on your office, depends on your business. It could be multi-service. If you have multi-service business, we'll offer you to start work with CAF IKE. Otherwise, if you want only CAF service and there is no other service and related service if you will do, That means no multi-service, then we can offer you CAF CGN. So if you think that I will work a office or I will start my business, that will be only produce all the service for the citizen, ISE, 730, Modelo Único, Patronato, everything. In that case, I will prefer that you will choose CAF CGN. If you finish this course and if you have your own office, we will offer CAF CGN office free of cost for you. At the same time, if you have multi-service, we will offer you CAF IKE. So it's up to you, depends that if you can finish successfully this course, we will offer this all of the software to produce ISE officially. Noi serve qualsiasi modo una autorizzazione di parte CAF IKE or CAF CGN to get their software to start work professionally for our client. But one interesting thing that is very important, maybe also the next page I will tell you, firma elettronica avanzata. That means digital signature. And these things is very new in the Italian market because what we are doing, technically we want that everybody of us, we have limited time for clients. If you do the traditional system, they do, they will scan every page of the documents when you want to produce any service, and then you have to sign, they will rescan and then will upload the file. Because every kind of application or domanda che dobbiamo fare tramite IMSS, tramite esenze entrate, sempre noi serve in qualche modo una delega, authorization from the client. And this case, how do we do? Every time we need signature. But from 2022, we start working with firma elettronica avanzata. That means client will sign, but not with the traditional pen signature. It will be the electronic signature. And that is means that we don't have to scan everything every day, every time. That means they will produce OTP, and I will send these documents to the client mobile number, and client will read the documents and send OTP. That means he is getting a consent that you can produce your work without his signature. This kind of authentication called firma elettronica avanzata. So this means se usiamo firma elettronica avanzata, guadagniamo tempo, perché noi non devo fare tutta la cosa scansione che salvano tempo. Solo per una ISE noi serve quasi 10 firma, perché DSU, dove ogni parte serve consenso da cliente, il cliente deve firmare. Che cosa noi facciamo? Noi facciamo sempre firma elettronica, mando un OTP al cliente cellulare, il cliente dice questo OTP, noi mettiamo quell'OTP, come si dice, validazione, vediamo la prossima fase, authentication code. Se tramite quell'authentication code siamo a posto. Delega digitale è finito. Se concludiamo questo schema, vedete c'è due cose, tutto è uguale. Una delega identità, ma prima parte che vedo è questa è digitale, una QR code senza QR code. Cioè dove non c'è QR code vuol dire che noi devo firmare. Il cliente deve firmare tutta la parte, anche come operatore CAF, anche io devo firmare. Così una cosa di consenso parte del cliente. This means the client give me authorization for present his or her ISE. So when we use QR code or this kind of firma digitale elettronica, we don't need any signature with the pen. We'll do signature with client mobile OTP. That is the difference. So from the first thing is very important to understand, we will use our modern technology, which is very new. Still lots of CAF, Italian CAF and others CAF, they use that is old style delega identita, where they always put and take everything archive for the 20 years on their office. If is there any control, if they don't produce these documents, which is signed originally by client, there is a big multa, come si dice, there's a big fine. So in that case, to avoid this kind of situation, it's very important to use modern technology, which we are using as a national CAF. We are doing this job with CAF CGN because they have this facility to take signature from the client as digital signature. So this is the important thing that where we are different from others. Let's go first we are working with the documents. You know that everything, every application, everywhere, we are using client documents. So this is our big responsibility to understand how we can verify their documents. Because if we mistake anything, so somebody could be produce any false document, but we are not politician, non è che devo controllare una cliente, ma noi devo confermare se il cliente mi danno un documento che non è denunciato. Che vuol dire denunciato? Vuol dire, maggior parte stranieri, tante volte cioè, non trovo più i miei documenti palmo 16 giorno. Andato costura, ha fatto denuncia. Dopo un giorno trovato. E sto girando con i documenti che praticamente denunciato vuol dire non puoi usare questi documenti perché deve ritirare con la denuncia. Altrimenti significa che stai usando una documenti che non è in norme. That means that sometimes immigrant, especially our community, what they are doing, they make this a great mistake, and it's something like that. They are moving around, and maybe somehow they don't find their passport permission to show. No, quickly they go to the Thana and make a case filed. It's called denuncia in Italiano, so they can apply a new one. But at the same time, maybe after return home or in the home or somewhere, they find out their documents, but finally they don't revoke auto. Revoke auto will say they don't again go to the Thana and tell that I already found my documents, so I want to remove this case, this denuncia. That's why this is a big issue. If you use any documents in your professional life, which is denunciato, which there is a case or there is a signal in the Thana, that is a big mistake. So how to take this verification, we will learn today. I will show you in this class that how can we check every document, that is there any denuncia present on our government archive. So this is the important thing, that we have to learn how to control documents. At the same time, important thing, you have to know how to read a document. It's not a big issue, I think, because everybody of us, so we understand a little bit English, Italian, Bangla, whatever we know, and we can read, only need some patience, so you can understand where is written and the data. So everything is that we are in Italy, we will follow the Italian law, and we don't follow others' law like our country, that we cannot tell that why we will do this, where something is different for other people, for me, why you are taking my documents, why you are not taking other documents. We never should do this. And this is should be tell also client. When any police asks any documents, they maybe don't ask your friend, only you, but never do any mistake with the law, because they're not bound to ask everybody documents. So sometimes we make this mistake. Now I am giving some idea that this course, so you will get the confidence about 7:30. We never tell 7:30, we always tell in Italian 7:30. It's called our tax return, and every year who is doing job, they need to present 7:30. And this is our main job in CAF sector, that usually from the June, July, August, September, this period, we are always busy to present 7:30. It's like income tax. You know very well that every country must present their citizen income tax. And our case, our most of the 80% client is client of 7:30. So every year we got the model from the government. There is some minor sense, but this 7:30 or income tax, we get some return. Quando presentiamo 7:30 vuol dire noi troviamo un po' di soldi. Per stranieri è una cosa importante in questo caso, ma per italiani è poco, perché lo sai, perché noi guadagniamo molto meno. Se 15.000 euro l'anno, molto difficile. Forse nero, altra cosa, io dico cosa ufficiale. L'ufficiale c'è 15.000, sempre noi siamo meno 15.000 euro di redditi, così vuol dire che hai reddito dal 8 e 15.000 e loro sempre trovano qualche bonus sempre disponibile per noi. Because we are earning very low, and as we are earning low, so we are always get some advantage, because the major part of Italian, they're earning always high. They're earning like more than 25,000 is their normal income because they are their country and they are more educated, they have high quality, which we don't have. I'm talking a general sense. Also, not that we are doing very bad, but what is called, we are coming from the country as immigrant and we are here only for work. So we are here for searching work. In that case, our starting always low, but it's very nice to share that lots of foreigners, lots of immigrants is doing great job in Italy market, and sometimes Italy government try to understand why immigrant doing so well, especially Chinese people. They are doing all the B2B, business to business market. They captured why Italian cannot do that the same things. So it's a big question that is a different issue. Maybe we'll talk about this later, but the important thing is that is a CAF. We have to present our Sette Trenta every year from June to September. But why we present this Sette Trenta? Let's see something. Most of the case, our main thing is to present Sette Trenta, detrazione per familiari in carico. Una cosa molto comune che prima volta questo settore deve capire se detrazione di familiare significa cioè qualcuno dipende a me, a mio paese. If somebody of our family member living in my country and I'm living here alone, but I'm always sending money, sending some support to them. It could be some kind of support from the money transfer company, I'm sending money or anything else. So, but I have to present that their income is yearly less than 2,840 euro. If you tell in others, Indian rupee or Bangladeshi taka, it could be very low income, and definitely we always tell that our family member income is less than 2,840 euro. So this is the only condition. Technically, everybody present this family in Carico, something present always from the certificate we produce from the embassy of Bangladesh, embassy of Sri Lanka, embassy of India, whatever it is, and where is written that this family member is income for this year is less than 2,840 euro. So this is the one thing. So we can use them as a family in Carico and we can get a return. And if you see that some of your client is getting 2,000 euro as a return from Sette Trenta, another friend is getting no return, there's a big difference due to this family in Carico. Maybe they didn't create the codice fiscale, tax code Italian for their family members. So you can always suggest them that if you can create codice fiscale, so you can get return for your family purpose who is living on your country. Also, not only this family in Carico, possiamo dire altre cose, ma importante, da 2022 tutto pagamento devono essere verificati tramite no contanti, sempre tracciabile. Che significa tracciabile? When you make any payment in cash, there is no tracking system. But if you pay through the bank account, from your card, bancomat, anything online, that is called tracciabile. So what is your spending anything anywhere, government can track. In this case, they will give you some opportunity to return back. And if you see that which kind of payment you can return and what percentage. For example, your wife is pregnant and you spend in the private sanitary structure, any institute or any clinic, 10,000 euro. So you can ask the government to return 2,000 euro. But you have to produce the document that you paid to the clinic through any payment which is not contanti. That means hai pagato tramite bonifico, carta di credito, bancomat, carta prepagata. Ok, va bene, se no, allora non va bene. Non solo quello, vedi c'è altri settori che puoi utilizzare, è spesa di istruzione, compreso asilo nido, università. Se noi abbiamo, lo sanno, se per asilo nido fino a 3.000 euro possiamo prendere come anche da INPS, non solo da 730. Anche per spesa di assistenza personale, attività sportive per ragazzi, canone di locazione, it's a rent. So we can also return from rent. It's like minimum €150 to €300 per year we can return. So even abbonamento per servizi di trasporto pubblico. If we buy any annual ticket, we can also ask the government to return a payment. Is something you are very familiar, it's called cashback. So you can tell that if you have the payment confirmation, you can ask for the cashback. But till now, we are Settetrenta. When we present, we don't need to produce all the confirmation officially. It's not with contant we paid. We only present the payment copy, they accept. But from the 2023, maybe they will not accept these things. So be alert from now. And to present any Settetrenta, you have to make sure that you got client documents perfectly. Documento di identità. Quando dice documento di identità, significa you get all the documents from the client. It means that carta d'identità, passaporto, codice fiscale, tessera sanitaria. So this is the list which is not so important to learn. When you work on the real sector in the class of Settetrenta, I will explain more. Only today, just know that some information which you give an idea that which thing is important. Still, I'm telling another slide with canone di locazione, it's house rent. So if you owner or if you the proprietor or you are the locator, so you rent a house, so you can ask some money back from the government. And this is the issue that it should be a model that you register the contract perfectly, and you have to present that this contract is on your name or your family name. And here is some more details that which things you can ask the government for cashback in Settetrenta. So all the listing here, I make some list for corso di laurea, corso di università, poi corso di dottore di ricerca, oppure altre condizioni, che cosa è importante. Comunque, maggior parte possiamo chiedere 19% è spesa per sostenuta. Finally, this is the software where you will present Settetrenta, because as I told you that we'll use CZN or I, and both software can produce perfectly Settetrenta. It's very easy, and this software has lots of guides. So if you forget something, you can always from the online check out that which is missing, and you can add these things and start finishing your Settetrenta. It's very easy software. So on this course, we'll learn how to produce Settetrenta through CCN or IKE. Now I'm telling some website which we always use every time. If you are a CAF professional, so it's something that you should know that this website is very important. IMSS for social bonus. It's something like insurance, but in Bangladesh or other country, developing country, they don't have this type of insurance, which I mean that if I work in the private sector, for example, in my case from Bangladesh, if I finish my job, there is no pension for me, only for government job. But in Italy or Europe or this developing country, we have both. That means that we can ask the government for pension even if I work only for the private company. This is the difference, which is very important to understand. That IMSS site is for the social bonus. All kind of social bonus we can get from the IMSS, and this website you can always use, and you can enter to your IMSS website through your SPID ID, and you can check your profile which bonus is present for you or your client. And also as a CAF operator, you can also go for the next step that is called Operatore Patronato. And in that case, you will get another access, which access you can use to get inside the IMSS and ask for your client any bonus. It could be ready to the cittadinanza, this could be NASPI, this could be any other application, €200 bonus, whatever it is. So this is the IMSS site, and if you search, so we will try to also look, but first I will introduce some other website which we usually use every time. Agenzia delle Entrate. This is technically a VAT control website, so they always take our IVA, that is VAT payment options. And for the impresa, for the agenda business people, they use this site. And also for the citizen, they get their income tax code, this type of certificate also we can retrieve from this site. But important thing to understand that Agencia de Entrate, this means they will control our all kind of income. So technically they are not giving you lots of bonus. Technically they always control you. It's something like Guarda di Finanza, they always use the database from Agencia delle Entrate. And at the same times, we don't expect lots of things Agencia delle Entrate if they do something only for impresa. Through, for example, fondo perduto, this kind of bonus we always get from the Agencia delle Entrate. INAIL is an insurance site. So if on the job there is any problem and you are sick, so in that case, your datore di lavoro, your job where you are doing job, he will not pay you, but INAIL will pay you. So in case of your, for example, your gravidanza or any road accident, whatever you cannot join, or for a small days, 3-4 days, non puoi venire a lavorare, devi presentare una certificato parte medico di famiglia, allora possibile chiedere soldi pagamento da INAIL. This site for this sector. Next is very important also. Some people already know that from this side we can control Costura site, Stato di Polizia. We can also check the other language, that what is the status of our file number. I mean, if we submit our permesso di soggiorno, if it is ready or not, to check this, we can go always Polizia di Stato, sito di Polizia di Stato. And Portal Immigrazione sito also very important, because to know what kind of documents I need for presenting my permesso di soggiorno renew, always I need this Portal Immigration website. And from this side, we can get a better understanding that is there any missing or something. If you see that area riservato stranieri in the downside, on that case, we can get more information that when I have done my fingerprint and is there document is missing on my documentation or my kit, so I can get this all information from Portale di Immigrazione. Finally, every city, they have their own website and their own service, city corporation service. So in that case, in my case, I'm living in Rome. So every kind of changing residence or any other services, we can always use this website. And for better understanding, definitely we do some practical, but today I'm telling that what we'll learn and what we'll do with this site. After our final class, which will like 7 days continuously, we'll learn how to use their application. But today we'll just introduce only the website which will usually use our day-to-day application. You know somebody, Anpal, Agenzia Nazionale Politiche Attivo del Lavoro, very important. Even if you have the first time job, you got the Unilab from the Anpal. Did means when you lost your job, definitely you ask the government NASPI, that financial support for every month. In that case, definitely you have to do deed online. That means dichiarazione di immediata disponibilità al lavoro. Vuol dire se sono pronto per lavorare, ma io sto cercando lavoro, c'è qualche persona di trovare un lavoro per me, posso dire così. But in Italian government, they have a system that if you register with deed online, definitely they will try to search job. But technically it's very difficult. As an immigrant, we don't get job from this service. But officially, it's important that you register your name if you're taking money from the government as a social bonus. I mean, disoccupazione. Reddito di cittadinanza, decide to check that when your money is coming, because lots of people, lots of extranjeri who is living here more than 10 years, they can ask another income source that is very well known as reddito di cittadinanza. And every step from the IMSS, we can check the status, when money will come, this amount will become, everything is okay or not. So in that case, ready to receive that answer, we should know and how to apply and what is the money we can ask to the government to get. So we have to learn this application. Finally, we have to know some business activities too. For example, here you can see a company registration file. So this means that if you see that your client asks that this is my Kamadi commercial visitor, or somewhere he want to open a bank account or asking for any financial support, and the client need a visitor. So this is called visitor. So how to get this visitor, how to read this, what information you can get from this visitor, we will learn this course. Maybe somebody is come and tell this is my Partitaiva, but I don't understand what is my activity when I start. In that case, you can ask, or you can also reproduce the duplicate, I mean same certificate from the agency to get Partitaiva details. Then as a immigrant, we always familiar with house rent. So is there an issue your client wants to do any contratto di locazione, any house rent? So how to do this and what is the rules and how to register this contract to the agency entrata? That also important to know. For example, in the past, there is a only seal system. This means you will get a date sign, date symbol, a serial number, and finally a seal from the office. That was the registration copy. But in the down, in the modern type, it's called telematicum, where you will get a codicy identification, and this codicy means your registration identification. So also this is very important documents that if you say that you have a contract di locazione or house rent, definitely you have to understand that what is the contract and what is the duration of this contract. In that case, if you can see on the screen that this duration is from 2021 to 2027, and what is the yearly fee for this contract, because when you do Sette definitely there is a relation with this contract with your Sette because you have to input the information to produce Sette perfectly from this house contract. Finally, it's a new style, new things that fatturazione elettronica. You know, lots of TV channel is telling that we have to do fattura elettronico for every business. So this is a good business for us. And when you are doing this course, I think it's the best time for you and for us to understand betterly what is fatturazione elettronica, because invoice is the very invoice system on electronic invoice, which first was the computer based, maybe a print, but now when they call electronica, this means that government somehow interfere here and they want to know that which fattura is doing whom and who is giving this, and they want to track out. Without this, you cannot produce your income as a business, because to get this fattura, there is lots of way, and we learn this course how to do electronic fattura for our client and how to manage their activities as some kind of a small accounting system, because fattura or invoice is very easy for us when it was like pen based. You mean you can write yourself, or any computer you can some data you input and print. That was the fattura, but now it's electronic. So there is some rules, and we should learn how these electronic fattura rules in Italy. Definitely we'll try to understand this better, because this is the business opportunity for you. If you can manage any 10 client, they have to do electronic fattura, so you have a very good income from this source. Finally, we try to understand that contabilità generale. This doesn't mean that you will be a commercialista, but for the small scale business who is forfettario, this kind of business, they need some support. They need some kind of information that their income and their entrata and uscita from their business. In that case, we will also learn some basic contabilità. And this contabilità, definitely, as we told you, we always prefer modern technology, and we'll do it everything online, not even anything with the pen or any sign, because if we take anything with the paper base, always I have to archive it, and this is not our good choice. If we do it cloud-based, online, digital, that is legal, and that will be the good for us in the future. Whatever a client asks you, you can do it immediately, instantly. You don't have to find out the file where you put and where it is. That is very time consuming also, right? So without break, I'm talking a lot, but we are almost finishing that. There is a learning curve. Qui sto parlando di che cosa noi dobbiamo imparare, no? Ma molto importante per gli immigrati diventare cittadini italiani, una cittadinanza. But this kind of application is not so easy. There is some issue you have to overcome. You have to know the rules. You have to know which kind of documents you have to prepare before start application online. So, domanda cittadinanza is good for earning money, but at the same time, for you, it's very important to understand every steps perfectly that how this cittadinanza, domanda cittadinanza work. Because there is a lots of way and there is some tricks that if you need any communication to go get the status of your application or client application, how you will communicate with the Ministro dell'Interno, or how you know the status. In that case, you have to know all the tricks. Also, the same time, when you start compilazione domanda, that means when you will compile this application, you have to know that which part is important. We'll teach you, I will teach you, show you practically how to do this better. And some kind of case that where all the file you have to put in the single file. How to make in the single file is not so easy. For example, you have to present 40 documents, 40 pages documents in one single file, and that should be within 4 megabytes. In that case, what is the tricks? How to do? So we will try to learn this too. And finally, if you successful, you will get for your client K10 numero. This is the reference number for any application for citizen application. Okay. At the same time, to bring our family from our country, ricongiumento familiare. Everybody is a big dream to bring his or her husband, wife, family member. And this is the nulla osta for ricongiumento familiare. So how to do it, how to get this, and what is the procedure, what is the perfect rules. And as a national CAF, we are working this sector from the 5 years, even without the national CAF brand. But we learn everything from the practical. What is the important thing? Which issue is important to know that your application will be accepted? So from our experience, we will try to show you this way you have to do the application for your client and you will get positive result. This is our intention to show you the tricks. Finally, on thing everybody know that every time our permission show is finished, we have to do kit and send it to the post office, to the Kostura. So this is the common practice. So definitely we have to learn how to fill up the kit and what is the important thing that inside the kit, which document we should put together and which document we don't need to put. So even for example, you can see on the screen, sometimes clients go to the post office without marca di bollo. So if you are an expert, so you know that without this, they cannot accept the application, they cannot accept the kit. So definitely you have to tell client that please take this marca di bollo with you with this kit. Otherwise, your kit will not accept it. And the every part of the kit where you can know that which you have to write down, because if you don't understand the model, your kit will be not accepted. And still in 2022, we are getting lots of complex situation where they try to fill up, the client try to fill up from the person who not familiar with this sector, and they make big mistake, which is a very problematic for future and to get the permission chosen in time. You know that now there is a very strict government in the Italy, and noi non posso scappare. Questo governo è forte, non ti fa dare nessuna possibilità fare falsificare nessuna cosa, anche non ti fai sconto, se ti hai manca qualcosa non ti dà permesso di soggiorno. Already we know that without residence we cannot get permesso di soggiorno, especially in Rome. Also, 1 year before, we can get permesso di soggiorno with any temporary residence, any what is called any residence from the association or any residence, it's called in Italian residence affittizione, but that is not accepted. So you need a real residence. So it's important to know how to fill up this kit perfectly. We have both way. You see the two kit, one is digital, another one is analog. So we'll try to learn both. If you get the kit from the post office, so you can do the left side with the handwriting. If you don't get this, you can do also the online, but for the online, you must be a partner of the operator. But on this course, we will show you how to do this totally online. Finally, speed. I think everybody, you have the speed, Identità Digitale Italiano, and this speed is the gateway to enter any government site to get or request any service or any application. Per entrare qualsiasi sito di governo italiano, anche IMSS, agenzie entrate, qualsiasi parte, la maggior parte loro ti chiedono metti speed, anche metti password secondo livello. But in this case, we are talking that we are the CAF operator. So we have to active speed for our client. How to do this? And this is the procedure we'll show you, because we are also has a big convention with Namirial. So if you want to be a RAO means registration authority officer who can identify client, and you can release for your client immediately speed ID. We have this option. So you know the rules, know the practical, and if you're interested, you can also take this platform to start your speed journey with your clients, which is very common. And nowadays, lots of people forget their post ID, or they don't maybe change their mobile number. In that case, definitely they need another ID. So you can definitely economically benefit it through this service. Finally, firma digitale. You know, at the first time I tell firma elettronica, but this kind of firma is not same. Firma digitale means another things. Another things means firma elettronica, you can do it through the OTP, mobile OTP. You got a code, and that is the delega. But firma digitale, not the same thing. In the firma digitale, there is a government rules that where you have to use any smart card or USB card or any specific software which is released from the government, which will be accepted as firma digitale. And how to do this? If you sell your share, you have to do is firma digitale. If you open any share or license from the commoners, sometimes they ask you, please sign this paper with your firma digitale. In that case, client will ask you that I need to do a firma digitale. You can do it through our service, and we'll show you how to do this. And this firma digitale actually not signed from the pen, but it's from the computer. So it's a symbolic picture. You see that somebody is trying to sign, and that is passed through the computer. This is the basically we are using for firma digitale. There is a card reader we use with the computer connected, and we use the software to get the signature. So when you are telling that firma digitale, this is means firma digitale. But when I'm telling firma elettronica avanzata, that means OTP mobile only. Sicurezza postale. It's also PAC address. You know that registered certified mail is called PAC, and this PAC, how to create very instantly, we learn this, because everywhere, if you want to send a mail, if you don't have time to send mail from the post office, you can do it from the PAC. And how to open your PAC ID for any client within 1 or 5 minutes, you will learn this. So also some very small item, we will also try to cover this course, that how to do your Europass CV. If your client want to work in the European zone, they definitely ask, please give me Europass CV, not other format CV. Loro servono sempre un formato specificato come Europass, non è altro formato, perché c'è cerca online, vedete, c'è tantissimo modello che non va bene per fare una domanda di lavoro in qualsiasi servizio in Europa. Loro chiedono sempre Europass. Noi dobbiamo anche imparare questa cosa. Finally, visa application. If you're a CAF expert, there is a great and big business option. If you can apply for UK visa, USA visa, Canada visa, why not you learn these things? Because it's a big item, and if you know the tricks, you know how to apply for United Kingdom or America, you can earn money. So we'll also cover these things. This is basically what we learn from this course. And here I want to stop because I think you got an idea that what is our intention from this course and how we learn and organize this course. So finally, we are going to back that how we'll organize this course and how much time we need to learn this course and what is the point of learning when we can do this all things. So if you have any question that which I am present you that what we learn, so you can ask me and I will try to understand you and your requirement. Then I will go to the second phase and I will do some practical today class. I think I can open mic for you so you can talk with me if you have any question. Just a moment, allow participant. Okay. Now you can unmute. So if you need to know any question for this course and course curriculum, you can ask me because which I present today, this is the things we learn from this course. So if you have any question, please feel free to ask me. Your mic is now open.